Should I turn off the big light above so we don't have the shadow cast on our faces?
I think it's okay. It's not bad. It's just your hat. Sorry. You're in the shadow. You can if you want to.
Hey folks, Lester and Jamie here. And I'm going to leave Jamie just for 1 second and go adjust the lighting. So Jamie, you're on your own until I get back.
Oh boy. A Sanctuary Sunday with a whole minute in the intro by myself. Unheard of. It's actually raining here at Longhorn Lester's, which is outstanding news for us. Nope, that's worse. Now it's going to take a little bit for it to come back on. Lester's just going to sit in the dark no matter what. Sorry, y'all. Yeah, so it's actually raining pretty dang good right now, which is great. It's a great shower for us. I, of course, used 2 different weather apps, which said it wasn't going to happen until like 4 o'clock, and then we were only going to get like 5 minutes of sprinkle. And well, here we are. It's been raining for about 10 minutes now, and we'll take it. Like, absolutely, we'll take it.
So I turned the lights back on, but unfortunately, the lights here in the shop are those kind that take time to heat up. So our lights are warming up, and they'll light up when they're ready. I got a fun idea. So in the meantime, there's a goat under the table with her horns hitting me in the knees and the crotch. I know you can't see her, but what I did, I brought my football helmet from the house, my Ringo football helmet. And while we're waiting for the lights to come back on, maybe Jamie can take that little camera and spin it around over here into the shop floor. And I'm going to see if I can get Tilly to headbutt with me for a while.
Oh, it's shit show Sunday instead of Sanctuary Sunday.
She may not do this, but I'm going to see if she will. Come on, Tilly.
This is something he hasn't tried before, which is great. The good news is she doesn't have horns that like spin around and can, poke him in the eye.
So you don't have to spin the camera. You pick it up and hold it. You can still see what you're doing. Tilly.
Oh boy. I hope.
Now she may not do this.
The thing is that Tilly literally will not leave us alone if we sit down out here. She wants to mess and play and hit. Oh boy, she's gonna do this. Look at her little tail going a mile a minute.
You're not gonna play helmet game, Maggie. You go over there.
Come here, Maggie. Come here. Her little tail was going. Oh boy, it's getting real. She's like, what is this game? Usually I'm the one that hits you.
Yeah. And
you scream. You're going to have to scream, Lester.
Are you getting me?
Look, more help is here.
No, I don't need all that help right now, guys.
They came to save you.
I wanted to play with Tilly. We're trying to love Tilly a little bit, but I need... Jamie, I am so sorry. I apologize to everyone. This is supposed to be a fun game with Tilly and Dad. And all of a sudden, Tilly.
Yep. Tilly's like, it's only fun whenever I get to be the bad guy.
I tried.
That was a fail. All right, let me see if I can get this put back on without showing up our nose hairs. Let's see here.
That was an ultimate fail.
It was cute how they came to rescue you. First Maggie did, and you're like, no, I don't need you.
Did anybody, were you able to see anything?
Yeah. We saw her little tail going a mile a minute, and she got all excited, and she revved up a few times, and, well, she was just, like, so confused, like, why are you a goat now? Like, I'm the goat.
Yeah. I stuck Donna's comment on the bottom right there that she's also a retired teacher and his legacy will live on because of who he is. I didn't see the first part of that, but I don't know who you're talking about. Maybe me. I don't know. Seriously, haven't been reading all the comments. But if you are talking about me, yes, I am. I cannot say a retired teacher because I'm not old enough to retire yet. The way it works in Texas is you have to be a certain age and have put in a certain number of years of service. So I put in 25 years in the classroom and so far 2 years as a bus driver. So you combine that 27 with my age, and you have to get to a certain number before I can officially draw retirement and say I'm retired. But what I have done is I've taken the last 2 years off from teaching, driving a bus
No.
to. So there's a lot of commotion. Just
Fiona,
babies,
we're not doing that.
just driving the bus to pay my bills, and then devoting most of my time to running and managing both of the properties. I'm a Survivor and Longhorn Lester's. This year is going to be especially challenging. So listen, we are not really set up.
No, we didn't really think this through.
I have an idea that's going to fix everything, but they're going to have to give us a minute to adjust it all. If you're not okay with the lighting here,
I think the lighting is better now.
We can simply turn all we need to do is turn the entire computer facing that way. You and I move our chairs on the other side, and it's all going to be fixed. There'll be no one else saying you're too dark, it's too dark. Because remember, even though you and I can see ourselves, folks watching us, some on bigger screens, some on smaller screens, some on Androids or iPhones, or name the device. And so it's up to you if you want to write it out like this.
People say the lighting looks fine. I see it on YouTube and on Facebook.
Okay, so as long as people are okay with the lighting, then we're not going to change anything.
We don't look like a black screen just trying to talk.
The bad news is that Tilly is back and she's smiling. Tilly is back and she's smiling. Guys, I'm telling you right now,
no.
Tilly is looking for trouble.
Yeah.
We are very blessed. Jamie and I are blessed to have had some amazing personalities cross our paths, animal personalities, over the last several years. And Tilly's going to be one of them. I love her more than Jamie does, I can tell, because Jamie wants to boot her to the goat pasture.
Hold on. I don't want to boot her to the goat pasture. I feel like we aren't allowing or showing her how to be a goat because she's in with the dogs and she doesn't fully understand the whole restroom part of being a dog because goats don't have any control over that. So there's a lot of Tilly messes, which bring a lot of Tilly flies. And then, like I said, every time that you or we sit down, she wants to ram my kneecaps and pinch my fingers and eat my dress. And she's a goat. She suddenly becomes a goat then. So I just want her to have like moments of goatness. That's all.
So I did let Mr. Huck out to play around with her here in the shop one day. And Mr. Huck was completely content to be here in the shop. But it was funny because when we came back up that night to do the nighttime chores, Mr. Huck wanted back with the babies. He wanted to be out of the shop, back in with the babies.
Like, fun day, but
it was fun to be cool and be out all day. But when it come nighttime, he wanted to be in his bed, which is a lot of times what kids do. They want to go have a sleepover. I want to have a sleepover, man. They can't wait to go have a sleepover. But how many times have you gotten called at 10:30, 11 by sleepovers parents, and they're saying, your son or your daughter wants to come back home. They thought the idea was fun, but the actual sleepover part, not so much. But Tilly is going to I don't know if she'll ever become a goat. She's never been a goat for 4 years, and I don't think she'll ever be a goat. And so we're going to have to figure out a way to get her to be able to live here in the shop along with our and become one of our guardians. So funny story is a couple of days ago when the light company came over to work on our lights and they were installing the nighttime lights outside, those guys had actually beat me and they were over in the service drive waiting for me to get here. And when I came up the driveway, I saw both the I saw both the horse and the donkey. Dixie and Beverly were out with them, and they were all gathered around loving horse and donkey. Of course, you all know how Beverly's going to back her behind up, and she's going to get all into it. So I know that all the guys were embarrassed, like there was some kind of pervs or something. But even Tilly had come out with the dogs, and the dogs were sitting there barking side by side, and Tilly sitting there just looking. So they didn't know what they were dealing with. It was their first time here, and they had no idea what they were up against. Funny thing is, before they left, they all had a chance to have a selfie with Carl. They got to feed the ostriches and have a selfie with Carl.
Can you imagine what they all went home to tell their wives that day about? And like
no
what
one would ever believe them if there weren't video proof. That's all I can say. No one would believe them. And that happens most of the time. Most things that happen around here, no one would believe us if we did not have video proof.
Oh my
of it.
gosh, yes, that's a fact. It has been a very busy week at both properties with light poles, and then having the grass sprayed at the sanctuary around the pond, and the shuffle of animals around that, and really just a lot of things going on that were little, that required time, and it has been super busy. And I was so happy that he was able to get over here that day, because it was an early day that you were here with those folks. And
very, very early.
Yeah, I thought it was really neat though that you kind of gave them the full experience,
the full tour.
Yeah,
the Longhorn Lester experience.
Yeah, all the grass guys were geese chasing him, so that was all I was able to offer them.
Yeah, we were kind of split that day. That was a tough one. It was a busy day. It's been a busy week.
Yeah.
But so there's something bigger going on in the world, and it's something that Lester has created quite the controversy. And no, it's not the carrots. The carrots were God's doings. The carrots were God's doing. God created them carrots that way, the same way God created. I don't know if you can see it on Facebook, but on YouTube, I put the thumbnail as a tree formation, a natural tree formation.
Oh, I put it as a story on Facebook.
Okay, which was in the exact same, fairly the same shape as those carrots. And those carrots, says Abby. Abby, funny. Thank you. I got a laugh. Jamie got a laugh.
I laughed hysterically.
A few people got a laugh. There was also a lot of folks who were not laughing. They were not laughing about my imagination and how my imagination can sometimes go wild. Even though it wasn't that wild, it was just too, it doesn't matter. But listen, that's not the thunderstorm that I'm talking about.
Oh, God. The storm that Lester has created again.
So listen, this happened several years ago, that there was this computer sound that you could play on your phone or on your computer, and depending on who you are, you heard different sounds. Depending on who you are, you heard different sounds. You could play that in the exact same classroom, and out of your class, half your kids heard one thing and half the kids heard a different thing. Everyone could not decide on what they were hearing. And I thought that was some kind of witchcraft, some kind of black magic, some kind of sorcery. Because how can you play a sound and I hear something, but Jamie hears something completely different? And so yesterday I was making a video over at I'm a Survivor, and I'd gone in the house to edit the video, get it ready for upload to play tomorrow. And while I was playing that video, what I said out of my mouth was Annie. I said, Annie's doing something, blah, blah, blah. But when I'm editing my video, it said Laurel is blah.
So this is crazy, because I'm sitting working at the computer,
Laurel?
and he comes flying across the living room and goes, "What did I just call our alpacas?" And I'm like,
I did. I'm like, what did I just call our? I thought I was demon possessed.
I was like, play Annie? I just heard Annie from across the room, so I'm like, did I miss something? Play it again. And he's like, he plays it, and I'm like, I at this point think that he has been drugged, because like I don't know what's wrong with him, because all I hear is Pablo looks ragged, Annie, blah, blah, blah.
Okay, so I'm seeing here in the comments, a lot of folks have already seen the snippet that we're talking about, but I want to play it for everybody. I'm going to give everybody a chance to listen. I'm going to give everyone a chance to listen. I hope that I can play it loud enough so you can all hear. This is our mic over here, right?
Yeah.
Everyone listen. Now, what I want you to do in the comments, I'm going to give you what you need to post. Okay, I want you to listen and just comment what you hear. I'll play it.
Laurel.
Look at that.
Laurel.
What do you hear right now?
I hear Laurel right now on this one.
Laurel. 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 Laurel.
What do you hear?
Laurel.
I hear Laurel.
That's the first time we've been on the same page.
Laurel.
Okay.
I'm going to play it again. One more time. Listen.
Laurel. 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 Laurel.
What do you hear?
I hear Laurel.
Laurel. Laurel.
Jerry. Someone hears Jerry.
I like that.
I don't hear Jerry.
Laurel. 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 Laurel.
What a strange phenomenon, though.
I'm pretty good with things, but I never, ever, ever in 100 years thought I'd be making a video about our sweet Annie. But when I was editing, I would end up hearing something different. And so even as we all sit here and read these comments, how is it that many of y'all are hearing the word Yanny? Some of y'all are hearing the word Laurel. Some are hearing Lanny. And someone keeps hearing Jerry. Who in the world? Huey? Guys, I don't get it. I don't get how this is the way it's coming out of the phone, yet it's going into our ears differently. I am not a scientist. I am no kind of an expert in this area. But what I do know is when I was building that video, I said Annie, yet it came out to me as Laurel.
He was questioning
And
his own
she's like,
sanity
yes.
of like what he said in his video. And I'm like, I'm questioning his sanity because I hear Annie and he doesn't hear it. And also he doesn't remember saying Laurel. And I'm like,
I never said Laurel. Why would I ever say Laurel?
I know, that's what I'm saying.
I've never
like,
in my life said Laurel.
It was the craziest evening of like things. I thought he was messing with me for a little bit.
No, I swore on my children, and my mama always said never swear on anything. Never swear on the Bible. Never swear on the Bible. But I'm like, I have to swear on the Bible or you're not going to believe me. If I don't swear on the Bible, you're not going to believe me. So I broke a mama rule. I swore on the Bible. And what I heard yesterday has changed to what I heard this morning to what I'm hearing right now. And how is it that through different things, it's the exact same video, but I'm hearing different things every time I play it? I'm actually hearing different things. And so I am so happy to hear that I'm not alone. I'm happy to hear that I am not alone.
Maybe it's just like a glitch in the matrix or something.
A glitch in the matrix of all of our mind matrix.
Yeah.
So Yanny or Laurel, let's play that one more time. Someone's like think that we're all being ridiculous because you hear this. Listen to me. We're not all.
We can play it from my phone.
We're not all creating this. Listen.
Laurel. Laurel.
Last time, what do you guys hear?
Laurel.
Oh my God! I think you're preparing us for Halloween. No, this is not about. This is about right now, today. What do you hear right now? And look at all the differing.
Laurel. Laurel.
Look at the Laurels, the Annies, the Jerrys.
Laurel.
I don't know who's hearing Jerry.
Laurel.
So crazy.
Laurel.
So, yeah.
I'm gonna stop.
Yes, I would like for you to stop. Definitely not preparing for Halloween. We can't even think past the weekend, let alone the Halloween. I promise you, there's no Halloween preparation going on. However, there is some freaky stuff going on here. And if you saw my video this weekend, then you know that I am totally freaked out by the woods here and won't be going back in because I'm afraid to die. And that's also not Halloween related, but pretty freaky, like enough to make me second guess and look twice at everything here. Everything.
I know you're prompting me to talk about what I've heard and what I know.
I don't need to know, not really.
Well, all I'm going to say is, and I'm not trying to promote or push any video, but I did save my Sunday Longhorn Lester video to be one that I'm hoping to have a lot of discussion with. So if you're looking to dialogue, with Lester and each other. I really hope you'll take time to watch today's video. It comes out at 5 Central. It's on the Longhorn Lester channel because, my friends, as much as I like to play and tease and pull your leg and have a little fun, today is straight up nothing humorous. There's nothing funny, but there are some serious topics to be discussed that are all about Longhorn Lesters. And I know there's going to be a very wide range of ideas and opinions being offered. And I only hope that we can all be adults and we can all be open enough to allow other people's opinions. Let's not get mean. Let's all just talk. Let's all form a community here and just talk about this. And in any said community, it doesn't matter if you're at your local PTO fighting over the school, or if you're at the council meeting fighting over road, or there's always going to be differences of opinions. And so this page and any page is no different. There's going to be differences of opinions. And you know what? I am completely content to hear yours, and I ask that you hear mine. And then there's going to be a lot of things tying into that here in the near future. So it would be an important video to watch. It will come out on Facebook. We have to schedule it in a little bit later, so no one's going to miss it. If you can't catch it on YouTube this afternoon at 5, then you'll catch it on Facebook later.
It's definitely, there's a lot of thought provocation going on around here, and we've had a lot of conversations that are really unique about this, so we're excited for you.
And I will say
join
again,
that.
and here I go again with that whole Bible thing. This is not some kind of a setup to Halloween. Halloween's too far away, y'all. We might start playing Halloween games in October, but it's too hot and it's too dry, and it's not time to play Halloween scary stories yet.
I don't know if you know this, but Lester will get distracted before Halloween, so this is too soon. It's too soon for Lester to start anything like that. I promise.
Yes, way too soon. Way too soon. So we had you wanted to talk about something going on at I'm a Survivor, a really big happening.
I wanted to talk about, there were last week on Tuesday night, I said on my time out Tuesday, I was like, there's a surprise coming this week. There were actually 2 surprises coming last week, but one of them, well, 2. Actually, that means there's 3 surprises last week. One of them was a project that I did here, which was minor. But the big surprise last week was that Cornholio had a very big date with 2 girls. And that date went okay, but it's been a few days now, and we're really enjoying those 2 girls, as is Cornholio, in the most appropriate way. And we have really loved watching their friendship develop. Becky and Billie Jean are their names, and they have really acclimated well at the sanctuary, and I'm really pleased with how that's going. You got anything to say about Cornholio's first date with them?
I will say that a lot of folks like the fact that we bring out the character traits in our animals. And so if you're one that enjoys a good love story amongst animal species, and in particular Cornholio, then you're going to really enjoy this one. Cornholio, just like many of us, there's not a person in the room, not in your room, in our room, who has not been hurt in love. There's not a person amongst us who has never been hurt in love. And if you've never been hurt in love, consider yourself lucky. You have no idea what it feels like, and so you wouldn't know. But if you have been hurt in love on different ends, there's all kinds of different ways you could be hurt in love. Abandoned, or there's just don't even get me started on the ways we can be hurt in love. But Cornholio has felt so many extremes in pains of the heart, and we have tried to push him through each episode and go on to the next chapter and go on to the next chapter, which is the same thing we tell our kids to do when our kids come to us and they're hurting. Or when we've been hurting and our friends come to us and tell us, just keep going. There's plenty of fishing to see. God, I'm tired of hearing that. You've never heard that from somebody? Oh,
Yeah, but-
Jamie, there's plenty of fish in the
Yeah,
sea.
but who's telling you that now? That's what I want. That's why I made that face. I'm like,
no,
you
no,
still
no,
hear
no.
that? People still say that?
No,
Never mind.
people
I
do
get it.
always say that to everybody every time they're going through some kind of a heartbreak. But it's one thing for us to say it, but another thing for someone to have to live it. And Cornholio has lived. Man, he's been through so much heartbreak,
He's been through a lot of heartbreak.
and we really do hope that we got something good now. A couple of ladies who do not show up with tumors and anger issues the way Janky Jan and Marcia did.
Poor Jan and
Marcia.
Marcia.
Marcia just hated men, and I don't care. I know some women hate men, and some men probably hate women. I don't think so, but maybe. But Marcia just hated men in general and wanted nothing to do with any man. And Janky Jan just could not get enough of men. Of course, she always chose the men who were a bit out of her league.
She just loved Carl a lot, okay? And she was just so starstruck when that Carl came along. Poor Corny.
So Cornholio has dealt with both of those, and then of course, don't forget the whole fact that
Oh.
early on in his time with his tenure with us, we brought him 3 beautiful ladies in. Yeah, we found a lady who had 3 beautiful turkeys she's trying to get rid of because she couldn't keep them. They kept flying over her fence and wouldn't stay in her yard. And so we brought him 3 beautiful babies home. They were too young for him at the time, but we thought, hey, you know what? He can grow into love.
Yeah.
You just grow into love, y'all.
Show him the ropes.
Show him the ropes and just grow into love. And if it didn't turn out that a few months later, one of those beautiful 3 ladies who we called the Dixie Chicks ended up turning colors and growing a, you know what?
Beard.
A beard. Yeah, a beard. And turned out to be a man. And both of them ladies who we hoped would grow in love with Cornholio, no, they grew in love with him. And so we had to move him to my dad's house. You may remember all that. That happened a couple of years ago. I think LE mostly made those videos, but we called him Chuck.
Dixie Chuck, yeah.
We moved Chuck over to my dad's house. Hey, here you go, Dad. I got you a turkey. And if lo and behold, those 2 females didn't up and fly over the coop.
They hated
over
Chuck.
the
Chuck was
pen.
mean to him.
No, they went to Chuck. They left Cornholio and went to
Oh,
Chuck.
that's right. No. You're right. Sorry, you're right.
No, so we left the 2 females here with Cornholio. We just moved Chuck. But if those 2 girls didn't fly over and leave and go
That's right.
to be with Chuck over at my dad's house. And so that was Cornholio's first set of heartbreaks. First shock and awe when he realized the girl he'd been flirting with wasn't a girl.
Do you want to know that you just said, yeah, we've all been through all kinds of heartbreak, just like Cornholio. I bet there's not a lot of people that have had that happen.
You might be surprised, Jamie. You might be surprised. Here's what I've heard. If you have seen things in movies, then those things happen in real life. And how many movies have you seen where someone was shocked by flirting or dating or even taking someone home who was not who they thought they were? And so Cornholio had that experience with old Dixie Chuck. We thought we had it all worked out. We find a real beautiful little sweet baby named Gloria, who wasn't the same breed of turkey, but man, she's a survivor and she needed a home, and we gave her a home. And Cornholio and her fell madly in love. That was
I think that was his
at
greatest love.
first sight. That was his greatest love. That will be the one that he'll never forget. That will be the one he always thinks back to.
I think that he'll measure everyone up against her, and I don't mean that physically. I mean that like just about the way that he looks at her and loved her. Like he loved Gloria. He
would defend her to anything. He would not let you near that little girl.
He stood out in the freezing rain that year with her. Like she would be underneath the awning and he would stand halfway out just to be next to her because that's where she wanted to be. He did anything for her. It was unbelievable to see 2 animals like that.
Kristen says, is that the one you gave a saddle to? Yes, we had to build her a saddle. Cornholio, he enjoyed he enjoyed getting into the saddle. He got into the saddle, y'all. Cornholio enjoyed riding the saddle, and so much so that we had to build her a contraption, which we did not create or invent, That was something that has someone else had heard of and sent to us, and so Jamie did end up building a few of those. She had multiple saddles that she would use, and Cornholio always enjoyed a good ride. Um,
He just couldn't bend his knees enough.
he never learned to bend his knees, poor guy. And so it is that she wasn't the kind of breed of turkey that lasts long. They're not bred raised to live long.
She was a meat turkey, so she was made to be somebody's Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah,
And
she was never a Thanksgiving dinner though. She was a love of his life.
she's the one turkey besides Cornholio that we could also catch and love on and pet. The rest of the turkeys the female turkeys have all been pretty skittish overall. Like they didn't want to be caught, or even medicating Janky Jan was a great challenge because she wasn't tame. But Gloria would sit down next to you and let you love on her and kiss on her, and like she was in my kitchen, for Pete's sake.
Let me do something with my fingers real fast. So for all of you that think you've had a hard time in love, Dixie Chicks, Gloria, Janky Jan, Marcia, and now we have
Billie Jean.
Billie Jean and Becky. So we hope that Billie Jean and Becky work out. But I don't know how many of y'all can say that you've been truly hurt in love 8 times or 6 times. I hope not. Now we've all had a breakup here and there, but those don't literally break us. But I know we've all been broken too a couple of times. A couple, I think, is probably the average number. How many times have you been broken? I would say I've been broken probably twice, 3 times. I don't know.
I was going to say
But
3 times, yeah.
so I think that to say that you have truly been broken 2 or 3 times is probably average. I don't know. Everyone's different, but to know that Cornholio has just been broken 6 times, and we always brag and say they're living their best lives with us. Oh no, I'm a survivor sanctuary. We're all survivors of something, and these animals here are living their very best lives. And Cornholio's like,
Poor Corny.
But anyway, we hope that this over here does work out. We hope that this over here certainly does work out.
He's being different, which I will say, like, he's somewhat pacing himself. When Gloria got here, he was like dancing before his feet even hit the ground. Like it was like love at first sight. Janky Jan and Marcia, he chased them around a lot, and they weren't into it at first. But with these 2 girls, he's very like stoic and very like reserved. He is being defensive to others, like he's protecting them. He's showing them how, this is where we eat. Like it's been a really neat display of things.
Read that. Oh, Dolly, you're going to get me to singing. You better watch out. I have sung too many times in videos this week. I think I've ran off a lot of people. Thank God Jamie can bring them back in because I run them off. Keep talking, baby.
No, I was just gonna I've really enjoyed watching Cornholio pace himself, and the neatest moment that I did not put in a video is one that I captured, but Lester and Ellie are making like chumming up ridiculous thoughts out loud across the stall, and Corny walks up to the 2 girls that are in the crate, which you did see part of this, but you didn't see the initial part. He walks up to them and he looks down at them in the eye, and he makes this little gesture of this, and he doesn't lose eye contact. And then the girls say something back to him, and he does the same gesture of this. And it was the most profound thing. I'm going to have to post it and take out their commentary, because it was like this, I will take care of you. I understand that you're scared. Like it was so incredible of a moment. And he and Ellie are like, I think he's over there telling about all of his wins against Dixie Chuck. And Cornholio was not telling them anything other than they're going to be okay. And it was an emotional capture moment. And I can't, I'm going to have to put it in the reel. I'm going to have to do it.
You're going to have to. Kristen says, please post it.
I will. So. It's only, I think it's a minute long, but it is the sweetest gesturing thing that I have ever seen an animal do. It was as profound as when Shirley introduced Laverne to Annie. It was that kind of moment that was happening right there. And it was something that no one would believe unless they saw it. I can't wait to show you.
When Shirley introduced Laverne to Laurel,
It wasn't Laurel.
don't leave. We got plenty to go. We want to talk a lot, but I did get 3 things here at Longhorn Lester's. Will you open one of those?
Oh, sure.
I got 3 things delivered to Longhorn Lester's that
I think I
want
actually have a package
open up.
across the. I think I got.
Oh, what is that? Is that a
It's
cookie cutter?
No, it's a stamp.
Oh, it's a stamp, like for ink?
Yeah.
An ink stamp?
But the other side.
So this side over here.
Yeah, the pink and white side goes down in your ink, and then you stamp it on things.
So you can stamp stuff.
Uh-oh.
Oh, here's a boot.
Go ahead. I'm going to go grab a package. You
It's
don't
right
know.
Here. It's right here. It's right here. We're not going to talk much about this.
Oh, my God.
That says Longhorn Lester.
You don't know. How long we've been looking? No, this isn't the package. I'm going to go grab one.
Let's not do a bunch of packages right now, unless you just want to do a package right now.
I wanted to show it. I meant to grab it.
So there's not a letter in here. So Miss Ellie Higgins, thank you for these over here. I don't know how I would ever use these, but I bet you would. Jamie loves crafty stuff, y'all. She loves crafty stuff. So I know she'll certainly find a way to use those. And then we got what appears to be a shirt. I just dropped probably something I needed to read.
I think. Tea Republic.
Look at that.
That's cool. It's a coaster.
Crocs and socks till I die. That's funny. Crocs and socks. So the joke with that is when I wear the Crocs without the fleece lining, when my feet get wet, even from sweat or from jobs I'm doing around here, they start sliding a little bit. And I don't like that slide.
You can't stand it.
I can't stand the slide. Even though they have little grip things in the bottom, my feet slide around and they're like, and I can't stand that. So if I prefer to wear the fleece lined Crocs. I know it grosses you all out. I know you're all grossed out by that because those must smell horrible, Lester. That's the grossest thing you expect Jamie to. But no, I use them for farm chores only. So whereas you all slip on your boots or you all slip on a certain pair of outerwear for your farm chores, guess what? I slip on my Crocs because they are comfortable on my feet. I don't slip and slide. But every once in a while, if Jamie throws them away because they just had too much wear and tear, then I have to go to a pair that's not fleece lined. I will sometimes throw in a pair of socks. And then that's been the biggest joke is I don't know who it was, you or Jake or someone filmed me. You videoed me when I was wearing Crocs with socks, which was very embarrassing. And now someone thinks I'll just send me a T-shirt, and that will just make it even better. That should make it all
Crocs
good.
with socks and shorts. Let's keep that in mind too. They were tall socks on top of everything else.
No, well, if no one had been videoing that day, it all would have been fine. Anyway, someone said, Dolly here says that song To All the Girls I've Loved Before, that's Kenny Rogers, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so.
Kenny Rogers sings To All the Girls I've Loved Before. But I'll tell you one that I like even better than that. And Jamie, help me here. It's Johnny Cash. To all my friends and lovers, there is no one compares to you. You know what I'm talking about? It's called In My Life.
Yeah.
In my life, I loved you more. Right?
Yeah.
And that would be the one that Corny would dedicate to his sweet, sweet Gloria. But yeah, both of those are two songs that do in fact take us to Corny and all his little his loves. And careful, because I will start singing. Someone says that's Willie Nelson, To All the Girls I Loved Before.
Well, that one is Willie Nelson. Okay, I would say In My Life is actually a Beatles song that Johnny Cash did a cover of.
No, the Beatles are the ones that I'm singing. In my life, I loved you more. The Beatles and Johnny Cash, guys. Sometimes multiple people can sing the same song. And then there's tons of cover bands for all of them. But where it came first, I have no idea. But I will say this: I do not like the Beatles version of My Life. I don't like the Beatles version of My Life. I get goosebumps. I get like, oh, woo, when I hear Johnny Cash sing In My Life. So songs, they do certain things to different people. Have you ever heard someone show you a song or tell you about a movie that they just love and can't get enough of, and you're like, what's the big deal? Like, I don't get it. Or look at this joke. Look at this. Look at this. And they force you to watch something that you're having to like make yourself laugh because it's not even that funny to you.
I think that I do that sometimes, and you don't think it's funny.
No, that's true. Yeah, I do that all the time. You do that all the time. But I've been trained. I've been highly trained to keep my focus, Jamie. So if I'm focused on something, then I try to not let anything in. Um, anyway, someone says that's not a Johnny Cash song, Lester. You guys, yes, it is. Johnny Cash In My Life is a song. You can look it up, but it may have been done by the Beatles first. I think the Beatles were around first, but it's still, to me, my favorite rendition is the Johnny Cash one.
Yeah.
Let's move on because now everyone's arguing about who did what first, Jamie. John Lennon wrote it, Lester.
Every time that you slam or touch, it vibrates the camera. And when we go back to
who
watch
wrote
this,
it. All I know is John Lennon does not give me the goosebumps, and Johnny Cash does. Oh my Lord, Jamie, you better change the subject fast because people are starting to get mean to me.
music is a powerful thing. There's a lot of people that connect to songs, lyrics, eras, those type of things. So there's a lot of passion around music. I get that.
This will be fun. You sing In My Life the Beatles version, and I'll sing the Johnny Cash version, and let's show them how different it is. Exact same words, but there's a whole different. Listen, I'm teaching you a word. Mood. The word is mood or tone. The mood, y'all, the mood. If you hear the Beatles sing it, you may love the Beatles, and that's great. You love the Beatles, man. Them Beatles, you're probably one of them girls that are like, yeah, pulling your hair out and going to their concerts and just making a complete fool of yourself because you love them Beatles. But no one ever did that for Johnny Cash. You know what they did for Johnny Cash? That's true. That is true. What? So fine, you pulled your hair out for the Beatles and you tossed your panties at Johnny Cash. Now tell me this. Who do you think was more impressed, Jamie? Johnny Cash or the Beatles?
I'm still speechless.
Anyway, there's different moods, and we know all about that because your mood is what sets the tone of your video. So some of our videos are lively, some are kind of like downbeat, and so it's Johnny Cash knew just what he was doing. He knew there was no way he wanted that same upbeat. For all my friends and lovers, there is no one compares to you and to all the in my life. I loved you more. It was beautiful. I'm sure it was beautiful, but it did not have the same mood. It did not have the same tone. It did not awaken the same emotions as what Johnny Cash did. And that's just fact. Now you can be mad. Thank you, Crystal. Crystal says, exactly, Lester. Duh. Crystal, you and me, girl, we know our Johnny Cash. Anyway, someone says, move on, Lester. Yes, Jamie, can we move on to something else?
Sure, what you want to talk about next?
Well, we have a lot going on. Ellie is taking all of the cats. I don't want to say exactly what day, but so we're going to take Nikki Bella, who is the mama to all these kittens running around here, along with the kittens, and get all of them spayed the right way.
Yeah, she was fake
and neutered.
faced.
Yeah, she was fake spayed by the first vet. I don't know how that happened, but that's going to be happening this upcoming week. Should I tell everybody? We're on the lookout for a female or two, a heifer for big Tex out in the pasture. I am going to be working with my friend down the road over here, my Longhorn Terry. That's what I'm calling him. Terry, you all met Terry. He's the guy that helped me with the little alligator. He's the guy that I bought the hay from. He's the guy that I had to rescue one of his longhorns who was wrapped up in some old carpet out by an abandoned house on his property. And I've become friends with Terry. And so, what I'm hoping to do, and Terry and I will work out all the details, I'm hoping to work out an upcoming trade. An upcoming trade. I will eventually, it's not time now, but eventually I'll be sending our beloved Santoro, aka Rip, over to his Longhorns, and he'll be sending me a heifer or two. Now, it's about time for that heifer or two now. And so it will be exciting. We have our grasses growing back now. We've gotten some rain, so we're so blessed. We've gotten some rain. Our grass is all turned back green, and we would rather do this while there's still grass so that we can make a healthy transition. You got to think about the health of the animal, the well-being of the animal. I wouldn't say that we're out of the drought all the way, but we've gotten about an inch of rain a week for, I'm going to say, the last month now.
Yeah, it's not caught up yet.
It's not caught up. Our pond is still empty, but it's about to start cooling off. You know, we're here in mid-August, so it's going to start cooling off pretty soon. And we would rather make any kind of a move with animals when it's favorable to do so. And so right now, any heifer that we move over here would have access to grass. And you already know we're putting out hay. We're also feeding green hay twice a week. So along with grains every afternoon. So we're looking good. And I think I would like to go ahead and do that pretty soon. So keep your eyes open. That will happen pretty soon. I will, of course, video every step of that when that happens.
I just feel like Santana is going to be so
Yes, Jami.
mad.
Jami's had this discussion with me multiple times. She's concerned about what's going to happen with Santana and how she's going to react to this. And I says, hey, Tex has had to put up with other men there with Moses and Billy for 5 years. So if Santana can't adjust her life to putting up with one or two little females once a year, Jami, once a year, then woe is me.
Here's the thing. I don't know if Santana is going to cut the girls' throats or if she's going to cut Texas' throats, because one of those two things is going down, because Santana takes no crap. She might do it all. I don't know. But I'm telling you that Santana runs that show.
Yeah, Santana is going to be a tough one. That's going to be tough. That's going to be tough. They're going to have to work their way around Santana. Whichever heifer we bring in, I will not say it's going to be near as gentle as our Longhorns, because not everybody gets out there amongst their cows every single day the way that we do. Not everybody is as hands-on, so there's no guarantee that it'll be one that will go into a stall. But you know what? I look at that as challenges. I love seeing things as a challenge and getting up in there and just slowly and over time showing your animals your true colors. And animals are very instinctive. They can pick up on good people. They can pick up on good people. They say that animals and children are the best at that. And they say any woman who's trying to date somebody, you better look at your animals and watch your children. And how does that man or that partner, how do they act, and how do your kids get along with them? That can tell you a whole lot about the character of that man. So I'm thinking that there's not too many animals that don't like me. Animals and kids like me. The only kid who doesn't like me is Carter. That's Bree's baby. Bree's baby does not like me, and I do not know why. I love that little girl.
Does not like us at all.
That's true. She doesn't like hardly anybody, but she sure doesn't like me. And I love on her, and I blow kisses to her, and I wave at her from a distance.
She just mean mugs even worse. She will give you the most hateful look ever. You could be offering that girl candy, and she would be like, She does not play around.
That's what she does right there.
Yeah.
And Bree will roll up on the side by side to make a video, and I'm like, Carter, I'm my sweet girl.
She is not duped by your antics at all.
No, that's not going to happen. Anyway, but we love Carter, and we don't get to see Cash as much. Bree keeps him in the house more. He ain't old enough to ride the side by side and stuff, too much, or her golf cart, whatever. But I will just say, State of the Union. People asking how are all the animals. We're not having any issues at all.
Oh my God,
All,
cross your fingers.
yeah, cross
And,
your
like, knock
fingers
on
and knock on
wood.
wood and just say thank you God that we're not having any issues at all. Everyone's healthy. We do have that little growth or whatever that is under Carl's chin. The antibiotics that we gave him didn't seem to do anything to it. It's not growing, yet it's not going away.
No.
And that makes me think that could it possibly be some kind of a splinter, or could
Like something's in it. And
like
needs to
something got
come
stuck
out.
in there and it's just swelling around it. But Carl's eating fine and he's not lethargic. He's not acting sickly. But that is really the only thing that I worry about. All of the other babies are doing great. Everyone's been vaccinated, dewormed. We keep all the mineral and salt blocks out for all the babies. We've done our part, y'all. We throughout the drought and throughout the harsh conditions and weather, we have been vigilant, man. We have been very, very vigilant. We have been out there with those water troughs three
Oh,
times a
man.
day. We've made trips to Longhorn Lester's once or twice every day. Every day. We have not missed a day.
No, not at all.
And I say we, not bragging, but Jamie does work full time and she has to be on her Zoom. So I make this drive every day and I love it. I do. I love it.
I try.
I do love it.
But it's not always doable. Sometimes I'm on, working for 14 hours in a day, and I'll take my breaks at the sanctuary at home and go out and contribute there because he's here. So, we make it work.
Jamie is not a hematoma. What does that mean?
Hematoma is a bruise. No, it's not a hematoma. It is more like it's a swelling, like an inflation,
Oh.
because you got like if I punched you in the arm really hard and you got a goose egg, that's kind of like that's.
So I
hematoma.
will tell you what my plan is. Should I show them what I'm going to do? I got it in the back of the truck. Can you hold on to everybody just for a second or so?
Okay.
Guys, I don't want to embarrass myself here. I don't know how this is going to work, but give me a moment.
I don't even know what he's doing.
The kiddie pool.
Oh, okay. I was like, I don't know that we talked about this. Apparently we did talk about this briefly. I didn't know it was like a real plan. I thought it was a joke. Apparently it's dead serious. So y'all are going to see what's Lester's strategic plan here of how he's going to get his hands on Carl's chin thingy. Of course it is. Of course it is. Just
All
wait.
right.
Here it comes.
So we were gifted this amazing little kiddie pool, but it's way too small and not deep enough for any of our pigs or any of our animals to use. So we haven't really found a good use for it yet. So I told Jamie, I have an idea. Why don't I drill me a couple of holes in here, put a small strap to go around my neck like this over here. So in essence, I would look like this. I would still have the use of my hands, like so. My hands would actually be like so. This would hang on me. It would literally hang on me. And so with this, I could walk up to Carl and I could grab him by the neck and I could pull him towards me. This kiddie pool would be perfect to keep him from kicking and ripping my insides out. He would probably kick once or twice. He'd hit the kiddie pool. He would not puncture the kiddie pool. It would not go through it. And then I would hold his neck. He would finally kick a couple of times. And once he couldn't hurt me, I would pull his neck low enough to where Jamie could come up from behind me and either lance or at least squeeze and see what the heck that thing is on his chin.
Somehow that was not part of the story earlier. Jamie wasn't even like, hold on a second here.
Now, how am I going to hold Carl? So listen. That was a plan because Jamie's exact words were, we don't want to take Carl out of the mood he's been in lately. We don't want to go back to ground zero. We don't want to do anything to make Carl not trust us again. We don't want to do anything to upset him. There's a great chemistry and an amazing dynamic right now.
Which is why I wasn't going to get involved.
And so that was an idea that I had to at least be able to touch and see what all that stuff is. Because if it is in fact a thorn, something stuck in there and needs to be pulled out or lanced out, that's sad that he's not. And the only other way to do it would be call the vet and have a dart gun to sedate him. And
I think if we can touch it first, I'm in agreement with you on this. If we can touch it first and see if it's soft or hard, that will give us an indicator of what steps are necessary for next. If it's really hard, that is a vet scenario. If it is soft and malleable, it may drain.
But yes, you're right. The only way to do it, I guess, medically would be a dart gun tranquilizer. But
which I would love to do. Not because it's Carl, just because it's very intriguing to me.
So my fear, now I don't know how this works with birds, but my fear is the dart is either too powerful.
I agree.
And he ends up never waking up. And I would hate myself for that.
Sedation is very, very, very hard on some animals.
So sedation will kill some. Sedation killed Meg and her unborn babies. Sedation killed our sweet Meg. And we always knew that sedation does not go well with some animals. And so
we have an extra sensitive thing. I know there's a lot of people like, call the vet. Y'all, if it gets beyond our scope, or if it's going to be of harm to Carl, then yes, we're going to call the vet. But for us to be able to at least put our hands on it and see is step one. And as goofy as Lester sounds with this pool situation, it's not as terrible of an idea as you think it is. He just probably needs a little extra on the back as well, just in case.
No, I'll never turn around. I can't turn and run. Once I grab him by the neck, I have to hold on. And I can do this. I've done it before. Y'all see me do it before. I'm bleeding. Anyway, I can do this, but we just need to get our hands on it and see what's going on.
I think that the more strategy we can put into doing it so that he is not totally freaked out will make a huge difference. Because if he thinks that we're going after his family, he will be more defensive than if it's just him, first of all.
Yeah.
So I think that we'll figure it out. Don't worry. And if we get a little bit into it and it's too much, then plan B. We will move on. But Carl is so different right now, being out and about. He's very calm. He will eat out of my hand, and I can actually almost reach up and touch it whenever he's bent down to eat. So if I can keep enough stuff in my hand, I may be able to do it. I was feeding him cereal the other night out of my hand. Yes, he loves Cheerios. Cheerios are his new great love. I'm then able to at least touch this. You're not going to believe what's happening over here right now.
Ostriches.
But look.
I'll let you all see.
Oh, wait for it. I'm missing it.
Right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're by the front of my truck.
And they're eating dog food.
There's ostriches that are walking through our shop, and they're eating dog food. Excuse me.
Yeah. Oh, great. There's more than... Oh, good. Great. All the ladies are here. Oh, Morrow.
Yeah, we are a ragtag operation, folks, and we take much pride in that. There's no other way I'd want to be, Jamie. Who wants to have a real farm? That's boring. Let's have a ragtag operation. So 100% ragtag all the time. But so I want to say thank you to all the folks who participated in my YouTube fun game where I asked everybody which of our female ostriches closer relate to you. And that hasn't come out on Facebook yet. I'm not going to spend too much time with it. But we talked about how all three of those adult ladies are very, very different from one another.
Very much so.
And we went by and described each of their personalities because we don't really talk about the individuals very much. If you think about it, it's always a collective group. And so we very seldom break down and talk about each and every individual of those ladies or the kids. And we did that in a video here. And I made a video to where I asked ladies out there, who do you closer resemble? Who are you more like? And you would be shocked to find out how many ladies actually are more like Tina, who we said was more reserved, sort of an introvert, doesn't have a ton of friends, but is completely content with the few that they have. They're kind of set in their ways. They're not the first one to get up and go. They're not, they've never been the life of the party, and they're not jealous of the life of the parties. They can, they kind of like follow. And Tina, we've highlighted, that's just kind of who she is.
Yeah.
She's the last one to leave the pasture. She's the last one to come on back in. And there's a lot of things about Tina who you didn't know, because we've never taken time to showcase and highlight each of their individualities. And we did that one morning. That played on YouTube. And I asked folks, I says, hey, do me a favor. Let's make our comments be something we can all share and enjoy. And I like doing that. So, man, I had a lot of comments on that video of people who talked about the different ostriches and which ones they most closely resemble and why. And that was powerful. There's a lot of Wandas out there, y'all. There's a lot of Wandas, and there's a lot of Debbies. There's a lot of Debbies who are just very content to be the head of the household and take care of the kids and take care of her husband or her partner, and just loves the simple life.
Somebody just said, I'm Tina until I have a couple drinks and then I become Wanda.
I think I remember reading that. Might be the same lady. I saw that in a comment. Someone that says, I always start off the night as Tina, but by the end of the night, I'm definitely Wanda. And they said, if you think that your bird's bad. So it's funny how I love those kind of videos, Jamie. And let me just say that I know that we're probably getting close to wrapping up. I kind of feel it, and I can feel it. But I just want to say that the fact that we have an audience that will engage and interact with us is one of our biggest blessings.
Agreed.
We may not always feel the same way about stuff. And ultimately, you kind of have to let Jamie and I, along with my son, my older son, be the ultimate decision makers when it comes to what goes on around the farm or the ranch. But we love, and you have no idea how much we've learned from things that you've told us. Now, I don't always admit that because I like to act like I know what I'm doing, but honestly, I sometimes don't know what I'm doing, and I will sometimes tell you I don't know what I'm doing. But one thing that I do is read every comment. And when I find the engagement where you guys can constructively criticize what I'm doing, offer suggestions about what I'm doing, or downright just tell me your stories and how you relate, a certain video brought back a memory, how a video helps you get through a tough time that you're going through. There's nothing better, I don't think, about this page. The internet, I'm going to say this, and this is going to be pretty profound, so I hope that you're all listening. The internet, I believe this, is inherently evil. I do believe that the internet, by and far, I see that you smile. So here's the problem. You're only thinking about all the sweet things that you learn from the internet.
No, I'm not.
But I believe that in general, the internet is inherently evil, and more bad comes from the internet than good. That's why I'm so blessed that we're a page that, even though I can sometimes get a little bit off, or we can sometimes let our hair down a little bit and have some fun, I think that for by and large, we have a really good, just a good people in our audience, in our social media family. And we're so blessed for that. And I'm seeing a lot of people that say, yes, it's pure evil. It's pure evil. It's nothing but evil. And so don't think that evil doesn't sometimes poke its head into our page. Don't think that evil doesn't poke its head into all of our pages. And don't think that evil doesn't come creeping around. There comes someone right there posting some kind of a weird link. See, don't anyone click on that. That's the evil. That's the evil. I don't know what that was, but I'll tell you what, I do think that we're so blessed for having an amazing fan base of people that are good people that like to laugh. They for the most part, they can laugh some things off, or sometimes just do a Jamie eye roll and say, Lester, I'm just gonna skip this one over here and move on, but come back the next day and hope for something a little bit better, a little bit more classy. Say something, baby. I'm rambling on here. I'm
No,
just
I
rambling
think that
on.
you're totally right. The internet is inherently negative and can be pretty rotten, and it is everywhere, and it's not even just the internet, it's the world. And we have found ourselves in a community of people that have found love in their hearts and who came here looking for
I'm not
a
ignoring you.
desire to belong and to laugh and love and be reminded of some of the simple things and some of the big things, and we're really blessed to be able to experience this because it brings great joy to our lives to be able to have found people who are like-minded.
Yeah, I agree. Like-minded. And that's how life goes, Jamie. I think life is that way. I've talked about this before, maybe not on the Sunday, but on the Friday, how just in general, people tend to find those that are more like them. And it doesn't matter your skin color or your religious background, but when you look at someone's character traits, like the inside of each of us, we have in the insides of you. I know if we ever had a chance to be in a large room together, it would be crazy how much we all have in common. And it's nothing to do with our, like I said, our ethnicity or the languages that we speak, or but people tend to find those that are like them. And that's how you make your best bonds are made from the inner connections more so than the outer connections. And we know we have some amazing connections with you all, and we're just so blessed for that. We're so very blessed for that. I know it was the animals that brought us all together, but there's a lot of things that keep us here. Now we have the ostriches drinking our dog water. Baby, that's the dog water. That's the dog water, and that cat does not like it. Cat's not very happy with you drinking the dog water. Yeah, who gets to be that lucky, y'all, and hang out with ostriches all day? Jamie, I said about all I got to say. I really have. I'm out of Dr. Pepper. I'm starting to sweat. You can all start to see my blood pressure starting to boil because I'm getting red. That means I'm getting hot.
Wow.
And so anyway, someone says, "Who's going to watch Longhorn?" What was that about, Jamie? How do I go back up, Jamie?
Babe,
You're
the navigator. You are the computer navigator and the remote navigator.
I hope they didn't say who's going to watch this when I die. I hope that's not what that said. I don't. Someone says, "Call us the Longhorn Tribe." I like that, which means that reminds me, you better darn watch that video today at 5 o'clock, y'all, because there's a lot of stuff that you're going to want to see in that, especially when you say the Longhorn Tribe, baby. Is that Tina? Tina, I thought you were the introvert. What are you doing in here?
That's why she's inside. She's just like, oh,
Tina?
I want to just like do my own thing. And...
Tina's being a trendsetter today. She's like, hey, what are y'all doing in here?
Yeah, well, Mama Cat's on the other side about ready to run some other
like, what are y'all doing? Hey, Jamie, bring my computer. Carry the computer.
Okay, I can't carry all.
You can carry all that.
Oh my gosh.
You can carry all of that. Just pick it up and do not go too far from me. Hold on, y'all.
This is ridiculous now.
No, it ain't. We're going to walk around and visit. Come over here, girl. What are you doing? What are you doing, baby? You just visiting?
That's Debbie.
That's Debbie? All right, let's
Yeah.
walk outside and say hi, Carl.
We have dogs behind us, and she doesn't like it, by the way.
Hey, sweetie. Oh, Beverly says, come say hi to me, too. We're going to come out there later, Beverly. So this is Wanda. Hey, sweet girl. Look how tall she is.
Yeah, Wanda likes it.
Hi, beautiful. All right, keep on walking, Jamie. We're going out towards Carl. We look at his mouth. Oh, here's our babies. Hi, babies. Hey, little ones.
All the goats are looking like, hey.
They're eating grass. Keep walking this way. I got Jamie by her neck, so she can't walk too far. There's our Mr. Carl. Hi, Daddy. Oh, my goodness, Jamie, there's Carl. Carl, we're going to look at your mouth. Let us look at your mouth, Carl. What do you think, Carl?
See, it's not getting any bigger.
But it's not getting any smaller either.
Yeah.
Jamie, can you hold the computer a little bit higher?
Are you serious right now? He's happy.
Carl.
Please don't eat my toes.
No, he's not. He's eating everything else but not your toes. Carl's just hanging out with his babies, being a good daddy. All right, is that all we got, Jamie?
That's all we got.
That's all we got? All right, Wanda, want to show us anything special? Oh
Yeah.
boy, here comes another
Look,
one.
Tina's on the other side.
Tina, get over here. There's
Aw,
Tina.
hi, baby.
She's the last one to come through. So they're all wet because we had a little rain earlier.
Yep.
Um,
All right, babe.
Are you logging us out?
I am. Everybody, we hope you have a really great Sunday and a excellent beginning to your week. And I will see you on Tuesday. Thanks for loving us.